Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to your daily sun sign love connection readings. Today our main sun sign will be the sign of Virgo as I go around the astrology wheel. And the highlighted, I like to call these days, connection for Virgo will be tossed right in front of you. And then in the description box, Leo. Wow, we just did Leo yesterday. I kind of need to move on. I'm sorry, Leos. You know I love you. A lot of power coming through with you. So that says a great deal. You're still shining from yesterday's reading. Well, let me just move on though, because it's only fair. We have a lot of astrology signs, but what's happening for those that are new, welcome. I genuinely welcome everybody, of course, returning new. And as a short introduction, I picked 2 sun sign connections, and then I read 3 specific categories with the tarot energies and messages that come through. This month I'm using the Art Nouveau, so I do a beginning of the month and a mid-month, and today is October 19th, 2020, and we're just pulling right along, aren't we? We're almost at the end of the month. So these messages can last, you know, certainly today if you're feeling it and you're understanding the impact that they have and the messages that are coming through. But they can also be felt, you know, tomorrow, maybe the latter part of the month. So there's no real time frame with this. Whenever you watch it is perfect. And we're going to toss the dice, though, for Virgo. And it's going to be with Aquarius. I love that. That's fantastic. So I will be reading the 3 major category tarot messages, energies, for the sun sign highlighted connection of Aquarius and Virgo. And then I'm going to pick a tarot card, an energy message for every other single sign in the zodiac in connection with Virgo and, you know, the love connection there within, which could be all different types. I always emphasize that. You know, there's family and work relationships and certainly love, true love, you know, new love, marriages, soulmates. They're all inclusive in this particular reading. And it is about the sun sign, so that's the 12th of who we are. In our natal chart from the moment we're born, you know, the sun is illuminating, it's right there, giving us the vitality, the energy, the drive, the desires, the ego that, you know, creates us wanting certain things and achieving certain things and wanting to be with certain people and so on and so forth. That's what that sun aspect can do, and the planet of sun does for us. And then of course we have the other planets in our natal chart that could be in various different signs and different elements. So there's a lot to us. It's much deeper, but this is the sun sign and it's general. So hopefully most of you will resonate with at least one of these connection messages. I'd be so surprised if it didn't. Now I am going to reiterate the fact that with the Mercury retrograde that took place and started legitimately on the 13th through November 3rd, though there were definitely the shadow periods before and after where I was noticing changes, the technical part of my life now, like every other Mercury retrograde I can remember since I became aware of them, is affected. And I mean, last night it was, 10 to 11 when I finally when it finally uploaded. I started at 11 or something before noon, and it was like I was laying there going, please, I can't stay up. I tend to get really tired early. I get up super early, and I actually cried just a little bit. I'm not going to lie, because it's and then when I cried, everything seemed to work. I could go to sleep knowing that my upload had been done. So it takes a long time. I apologize, and I know it'll go back just to normal again, but I will be patient, and I hope you will too. So let's get on with the reading. So Virgo is a beautiful earth element, and I love Virgos. I just had my chiropractic appointment with my Virgo chiropractor. She's so wonderful. Such knowledge, such caring and concern for her clients and her patients, I have clients as a massage therapist. She has patients. I love to refer my clients that I work with her to her, and she in turn does that for me. And we're very close in proximity. So it's a beautiful relationship in that regard. And that's the kind of thing. Virgos want to help. Virgos are a very intelligent sign, and Virgos will go the extra mile. There's no question in my mind about that. They are very, very interested in education and learning and growing and expanding. They are ruled by Mercury, the planet I mentioned that is in retrograde. But Mercury is the mercurial, the moving, the ideas, the thoughts, the mind, commerce, business, interaction, connections. And my gosh, my chiropractor and her husband have had this business for 34 years, so they know pretty much everybody in our town, and just can be so helpful in regards to referrals and such, like I mentioned. Virgo is a mutable sign. They're very adaptable. They are capable of, making changes and changing themselves, reinventing, a lot of times earth signs like to stay in positions and jobs for years and years at a time. They're very reliable, very accountable, kind of a routine, practical sign, earthly, down to earth. But they're very capable of taking that profession and having to move to another state or another, job in the same realm, or maybe a brand new job. They just have that ability, which is a beautiful aspect for me to recognize that I need to speak about. And, they are definitely, not all, this is general, but a lot of Virgos that I've known are perfectionists, and they're very self-critical, and they're always working to improve, even when they are the best. They feel like there's more they can do. And so they need to be aware that, perfectionism is great when it comes to wanting to do well, but then you have to be very kind when things don't necessarily, there isn't really any perfect anything, right? That's a thing of the mind, but that's something they strive for, So it can be hard because they'll work tirelessly, and they'll work the midnight, they'll burn the midnight oil, and just to get to that place and be just a step above, They're incredible when it comes to organization and planning and time, understanding of time and people and the value of time, and what time can bring and what money can bring and so forth. They're great with money. They're great with planting and land and natural things. They tend to want to really take good care of their bodies and their families. And in order to do that, they themselves have to be well. So that's a really beautiful understanding that I think that a lot of them have. And by the way, I find a lot of Virgos to be in the service field, doctors, whatever it is where they can help others. That's their thing. They're the virgin. They're the authentic, what can I do for you, without necessarily ever wanting anything in return. And that's also equating to their relationships. So beautiful people, and it just so happens Venus, the planet of love and beauty and magic and just feeling good, is in the sign of Virgo. So there you go, Virgo. If you've been feeling a little bit better, a little more at ease, I hope, maybe some wonderful things are happening in your life romantically, or, with money, and you're being able to start building again, and you're feeling like the losses or the stopping that happened for a lot of people this year, you're seeing evidence that things are really starting to move and pick up. And I love that for you. In addition to the fact that we're in Libra season for another 3 days, and Libra is all about balance and all about justice and fairness and peace. Oh my gosh, peace, regardless of what's happening in the outside world, finding that peace within, finding it with yourself, with your connections, and feeling really exalted and feeling beautiful, and, beauty is, I'm talking about that feeling of just, I want to say accomplishments for Virgo. That just came to mind because Spirit has prompted me to say that. But, just feeling at peace with you. And that's where it starts. In relationships, if you have that self-love, that self-respect, that it just emanates to everybody, and it helps all relationships. And I feel that's what's going on. And then your highlighted connection is that of Aquarius. And Aquarius is, an Aquarius is an air sign. It's very different, They see the world in a different way, but not entirely, because air signs are about the mind as well. So you can totally relate and have great depth of understanding and conversation with Aquarians. They like to think of futuristic things and ways to improve, and they are ruled by Uranus. And that's about change and, you know, future and unexpected and surprises, and sometimes things that just shakes up our world in ways that we wouldn't have expected, but definitely for the better. Sometimes, you know, it can change us in a way that shakes us and we don't expect it, and we think, why? And later it's revealed, and it's for your best. It's the best thing that can happen. But so Aquarians, you know, they care a lot about humanity. They are known as the water barrier, you know, let there be water for all, let there be food for all. They love to think of ways to help the planet, you know, as a whole. Not small potatoes, but what can we do to change the world is their mantra generally. And you find them in that type of thing. They're usually in groups and organizing it and being in charge and very confident, you know, and very have those leadership qualities. They're a fixed sign, so they tend to be very much set in their opinions and ideals, and they can come up with amazing ideas. So a lot of times people are okay with that. I find a lot of times in life, in my years, that, you know, it's great to have somebody that wants to be that leader, that wants to show the way, as long as it's for the betterment, right? It's not a selfish thing. It's quite the opposite. It's selfless, wanting to teach and profess to others the best way to improve their lives too, and being very active in doing that as well, not just standing back. So yeah, there's great love and ambition there and appreciation, I think, with both of these signs. And then, like I said, the air is it's movement and it's expression and it's creativity and it's fun and it's happy and it's joyful a lot of times, you know, and that's what we strive for as air signs. It can be detached though, and it also sometimes needs a grounded energy or friend or connection or love in their life that will help them to remember to not get too far off into the ozone, you know, and to kind of come back down to earth, so that you can, you know, you're not too disappointed when your grandiose ideas aren't necessarily met, at least not right away. Now, the whole thing about Uranus is the science and the ability to break barriers and to think outside the box and to be innovative and to be initiators, right? So yeah, there's a interesting kind of beautiful complementary energy that happens with the two of these signs. I see it a lot in long-term relationships, to be honest, in marriage, because like I said, there's the individualism and the absolute independent aspect, the freedom-seeking aspect of the Aquarius, wanting to do things that are different, wanting to initiate, you know, change that's going to hopefully help everybody, but hasn't happened yet. You know, they want to be those people. And the Virgos are used to steadfast kind of, you know, normalcy, reliability, and, you know, just the people that you can count on. So that kind of spurs their interest. They are wanting to learn, remember? So they like seeing the new things. They're adaptable. So they like getting the latest technology in their businesses or what it might do to help their clients and people that they work with, like I said, or even in their own homes, you know, for their children, and now the new online schooling and such. Very, very beautiful energy for the two of you. Loving energy, you know, and very, like I said, for being so different, it works very, very well. And let's face it, a lot of people love opposites attract. I find even more than people like-minded. I mean, I shouldn't say like-minded, but people with more similarities. You know, that's beautiful, and it works very well as well, especially depending on where you are in your life. Sometimes you just want it super easy and you want to just have somebody who gets you. But then there's that part of you as you're growing up, or there's a part of your life where you're like, spur me, man, open my mind, change my thoughts, you know, help me transform. What can you show me? What can I learn? And that's what happens with these two. So I think I've spoken enough. Let me read you the beautiful energies for this highlighted connection of Aquarius and Virgo. And yeah, just feeling really blessed. hoping you're feeling blessed, hoping you're feeling joy in some capacity of your life, and definitely faith and hope in what's to come. And whoops, that one wanted to pop out. So I just can't believe it. I mean, I'm shuffling these, and the repeated messages are pretty prevalent, but I really like this one, and I'll read it to you in just a moment. Okay. Also very, very understandable. 2 major arcana so far. All right. Yes, 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 and yes. And I'm a yes woman. Let's be yes people. Yes? Watch and see what happens. It allows us to open up, you know, and not necessarily be stuck in one thought process. And it's like, maybe you thought you wanted something a certain way, but don't be surprised if it doesn't happen that way this year and then next year coming. But that's okay. You may be very, very happy with that. So let's go on with the actual reading. The overall energy, which is the first category for the highlight of Aquarius and Virgo, is the major arcana, the Lovers. So this is absolutely beautiful. This is definitely about love. This is about that absolute wholehearted relationship that you feel is right. The perfect selection, the perfect choice in love, in connection, in compatibility, in the deepest parts of you, which I forgot to mention, but I find there's a definite basis here for friendship that probably starts that way and then builds, which is, I think, the best thing for all relationships, to have a fundamental aspect of the relationship that is a friendship. I mean, I know that there are times in our lives, let's be real, where we just instantly have this attraction where it's like, whew, it overcomes you and you just have to go for it. And that's great. But I'm just saying, you know, it's just when you have a friendship, that's what really truly lasts. You know, when a lot of things start to fall away or change, which they inevitably do, that friendship will stick forever. And it's not even just about love and passion and everything. It's about choices that you've made for yourself that you're feeling really strong about, which in turn helps this connection. So it's a beautiful, positive, wonderful card. It does represent Gemini. There's the duality, you know, and the changeability and the ability to express and communicate, and also a fellow air sign to Aquarius. So that's interesting as well. But an ease, you know, an ease that comes with this. And I love that a lot. And it's a 6, so that represents balance. And we're in Libra season, and that's what I'm saying. The emphasis for everybody now is the ability to feel and find the balance in all things. It's essential and it's really important. Justice is, of course, part of that balance. The second category is the category of possible blessings or obstacles. Major Arcana, the Tower. This has come up so much, as has the Lovers in my love connection readings. Go figure. Towers can be that Uranus energy, boy. That is that change, that flash in the pan, that, oh my gosh, that epiphany, that idea, the different perspective that comes on, you know, changing your foundation and getting rid of the stuff and burning off, you know, figuratively, things that are absolutely not serving you, and feeling like this surge of energy and weightlessness, like when we purge all the stuff in our homes we don't need. It could be that. It could be changing your environment and changing up the energy, you know, moving from one job to another, unexpected. People lost jobs this year a lot. There was losses, so there's that. A lot of, I think, the towers have happened to people's lives right now and all connections. So it was, like I said, the possible blessing or obstacles. Maybe something that came about in a loss type of form was unexpected, and it was, you considered it an obstacle, but give it some time. Like all things, and certainly this year, it's really going to take us a while to realize what it was all about. And I know some of it's evident, but there's a lot of it that's internalizing, and things that we will come out of realizing that was the best thing that happened to me. I'm getting emotional because, yeah, I mean, I've been right there with everybody, you know. I'm literally one of those people who hadn't worked up until last week for 7 months. And so I'm doing that in between now, and I'm feeling so good. And it's slow. I'm not crazy right now with a lot of the people that I've had on a waiting list. But that's how you do it. You find that balance. You find it. And you recognize that the towers in our life are what help us to reinvent ourselves and to transform and to accept and to start anew, which is really kind of incredibly beautiful in itself. But it's so, I say revitalizing is the word, you know, it feels right. And there's still a lot of energies that are so combative right now and so oppositional. And I know we're feeling it, and then we don't, because there's the balance of Libra trying to fit it in and Venus trying to work through, you know, of course, Virgo, but it's the sign that rules Libra. So there's still that powerful, genuine desire to help us and to heal us and to keep our love alive. So I like that a lot, and I hope that it's something you're finding to be good and transformational in a beautiful way that you recognize right now. And then the next category is under the category of finances, stability, you know, things that are physically tangible in front of us, you know, and how it's fended up to this moment, to this day in this reading. And you have the major arcana, the Emperor. So there's 3 major arcanas. The Emperor, whoo, very powerful, very, very much authority. You know, that has to do with government. It definitely is the sign of Aries, and boy, we've had Mars, the ruling planet of Aries, the fiery, passionate, warrior, you know, release, you know, just challenge and incredible movement and so forth in Aries. And that's what this card is. And it's not stopping yet. It is in retrograde, so that eased it up a bit, especially for fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But we're all feeling it. We've all had this aggression coming out of us. I, for one, have been at home, you know, like I said, for a long time. I was feeling things happening in me that I had no idea what they were about. I'm just letting you know I'm not an aggressive person. It's in there, though. I have an Aries moon. I recognized that I was feeling ways I never thought that I would. It needed to come up and out. That's what's happening. It's happening outside of us. It's happening inside. It's helping us to really understand who we are and not kidding ourselves anymore. And you know, we are entering into Scorpio season on the 22nd. And Scorpio is all about transformation, ruled by Pluto, the deepest transformation, the oppressive, the letting go of the horrible things that we feel about ourselves or things that have occurred and just releasing it, lifting ourselves up and the energy and allowing that in. And this has to do with your finances. So it's pretty powerful. It tells me that you have the energy and the wherewithal to make things happen. And right now we're being affected greatly by our government, our institutions, the oppressive aspect and how they can dictate, and the changes occurring in that. And certainly in this next year when everything starts to go into Aquarius and air and law and justice and fairness for all, wait and see. But for now, stay strong. You're not going to give up. You are a warrior, and you have that energy. We all have that fire in us. Trust me when I tell you that. It might even be in your chart. But this is the first sign of the zodiac. This is power and leadership, a cardinal sign. There's a lot of cardinal energies happening. They initiate and they move and they make changes and they make it happen and they provide. And they don't give up. They push forward. And that's what I see happening for you and your connection, and just knowing all of us have that strength in us. It's always there if we choose to use it, and not be necessarily affected by the outside, but to utilize that within us. That's amazing. 3 major arcanas of beautiful, beautiful messages and energies for you. All right, so let's move on to the individual zodiac signs thereafter for you, Virgo. And so we're going to actually we'll go clockwise. Right next to you is Leo, and you know, I rolled that the first time. Well, this is a beautiful energy too, and it also is extremely different. But I see it a lot, and it's right next to you, so you kind of pick up on the energies of the astrology signs right next to you. You may have fire in your chart. Generally, a lot of times I find Virgos, when they do their birth charts, they find, because they're so close to the season of Leo, that they do tend to have some planets in there. So there's an affinity and an understanding there. There's that fire and that passion that Leo has, like none other, right? Ruled by the sun, you know, very, very interested in leadership and being seen and being heard and being in charge and guiding the masses, guiding the people, right? Being the center stage, the main actor in their lives and their, like I said, their stage, their, I don't know, just their ability to have the pride and the dignity and the ability to stand strong. The confidence is kind of unparalleled when it comes to the fire signs. They are full of heart and passion. They want to see things that are good for everybody. They want to be heard, like I said. Their ego is huge, but they use that for reasons for good. You know, it's not all about themselves, you know, although they love to be given compliments, no doubt. And they're there for you, Virgo, and you certainly are there for them. And you get that they can be fiery and, you know, temperamental at times, because that's what fire signs do. And, you know, it's quick and then it's over. And they want your stability, and they want your genuine caring and authenticity that comes from you, and your ability to just really add to pretty much anything they're interested in. Their conversation is good with you. Your intellect can really guide them in beautiful ways. This is great for all types of connections. So let us read and recognize what your energy message is for that connection. All right, there you go. There's the 8 of Wands. Passion, moving forward, quick changes. Now, we're in retrograde, so you might have a lot of different opportunities just coming at you, just flying at you. Venus does that when you have Venus in your sign, Virgo. And well, there's always passion behind anything Leos do, like I said, or fire signs. This is a beautiful green light. Let's go. So if it's anything brand new, though, during retrograde, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying there may need to be changes, you know, especially with contracts. So keep that in mind, but keep the energy going, you know, even if it's in the mind or you're just writing things out and you're kind of, it's new maybe, or you're starting something out together. The passion between you is really good. If you've been questioning whether you want to go forward in the relationship, the answer is yes. We'll make it simple. 8 is a power number. It is a manifestation number. It's one of the most abundant numbers of the numerology. So I love that very, very much. Now let's move on to Cancer. And that is the water sign, and that is the beautiful, sensitive, emotional sign, ruled by the moon. Cardinal sign, starting the season of summer. Water and earth are very good elements together. They've always worked well. Some elements work better than others. We all can get along. But I find that there's many, many relationships and connections with the earth and water. And there's just a, I don't know, there's the differences that create and add to each of the people involved, you know, each of the connections. The sensitivity is pretty prominent, of course, with the Cancer. It's recognized by Virgo, and they are there to solidify and let them know they're not going anywhere. They're grounded. They can help to calm, I think, water signs, and not to feel like they're alone. They want to know that, and we'll give the protection that Cancers really prefer. They understand when they get a little moody and they need to retrieve back in their shell, you know, as a crab symbolism of Cancer. And they allow that. They're patient and they're nurturing, as is the two of you. So there's an equal, beautiful desire to help and to nurture those that they care about, and to bring them close in. You know, Cancers love to help. They're very capable. very shrewd when it comes to their money and their ability to build amass fortune and whatever it is that'll help their families and, you know, those that they care about. And you're specific. This is beautiful. 2 fires energies so far with connections. The 4 of Wands, the perfect, balanced, stable relationship. You know, the 4 walls are sturdy. You're protected. You're strong. It's the foundation again is beautiful. Families are good, united, you know, feeling happy, feeling content, feeling that sense of security, you know. I know it's a kind of a man-made thing, but just in this physical form, we want to feel that, you know, and that's what's going to happen with the 2 of you, and it feels so beautiful. And we're in the 4 year, and it may seem like it wasn't stable, but it's leading to that very thing. It takes a lot of difference and a lot of change and transformation to reach stability a lot of times. I love that for you, though. That's a beautiful energy and message for you. Then we go on to Gemini and Virgo. Air sign, right? Air and earth. Very different. Oh my gosh, like night and day sometimes. Now, Gemini is a mutable sign like you, though, Virgo. So that is a complementary energy. Gemini is all about the mind, you know. Any air sign thinks, that's how they work. They're logical. They want to just think their way through things, strategize, you know, understand the best way to express, to communicate. And that's how they work in relationships, in their lives. That's what they know, right? And air is about the mind, and it's about our thoughts, and it's about how we converse. And right now, like I said, I don't know what the card is, but with the Mercury retrograde that we're having through November 3rd, it will affect our communication. If there's some kind of misunderstandings, just be patient because it's happening for all of us. Be careful of how you say things, maybe. Rethink how you say it before you say it. Recheck your mail, your emails. Don't send the wrong one to the wrong people, you know. Schedules might get a little bit mixed up. Being flexible is very important right now. Your energy for the 2 of you is the Hangman. So this is the Piscean card, but it's also a beautiful card because to me it's just about stopping. You're in a pause like you are in retrograde anyway, but it's spiritual, you know. It's that guidance within we receive, and certainly from co-creation in life and love from Spirit and God and whoever it is, your higher power that you believe in. But if you notice, this person who's hanging is completely serene and comfortable. And the glowing around the head, which is a beautiful halo, is this beautiful, peaceful, you know, spiritual aspect that all of us have. And when we're quiet, we receive information. It's receptive. It's a different perspective, right? Instead of being hanging upside down, maybe look at our situation or our connection in a different light and feeling good about it, feeling at peace. Not pushing forward, though. That's very appropriate from what I was saying about the retrograde. Just knowing, you know, things will change. They always do. Movement will occur, but just kind of focus and feel at peace right now. Finding that balance. Then we go on to another beautiful, beautiful connection of Taurus and Virgo, both earth signs, very strong connected, you know, you get each other. You're both very driven, very determined, practical, reliable, accountable. I mean, there's always exceptions, I know, but I'm telling you as a general personality trait for earth signs, this is what you have. You know, you have no more loyal of a friend in earth signs. There is a fixed sign with the Taurus, so they are very determined. And they don't like to waver, and they don't really necessarily want to hear others' opinions. They will, and they will change depending on how deep their love is. But it's slow. It's a little slower in changing. But they are ruled by Venus. You know, you've got Venus in Virgo right now, and you've got Venus from the season, sun season of Libra happening. There's just a lot of love and passion and intimacy that I'm feeling with this. And you know, money is big. Money is known, Taurus is known as the money sign. I'm telling you, they know how to amass wealth. They understand the hard work that's involved, and they are steadfast. And they usually are just very, very comfortable. Even in difficult times, they've thought way ahead. They've set aside, they've invested properly. They're very wise and they're patient. They will take that time it takes. But they know that it'll grow like a seed, you know, and that earth aspect to them, that down to earth part. So the energies coming for the two of you is a lot of fire connection. You got a lot of passion going here. Is the Six of Wands. Can I get this? Yeah. That's victorious. That is being on the high horse, you know, and that is beautiful energies from everyone around you in your community, maybe your family, people that are very, very celebratory of you, and maybe the connection you have together. Maybe, you know, the new move or the idea of a possible pending marriage or engagement. There's a celebration. There's great happiness and, you know, victoriousness because you've worked hard for this. It was something you have put out the effort for, and now you're seeing the results. And I don't know what that means, but I know it's beautiful and it's happy, and I want to leave it at that, because why fix it if it isn't broken, right? So we'll move on to the beautiful sign of Aries and Virgo. This is very, very, very commonly seen, and people think, that's interesting. You know, there you have the air and the earth again. Very different. Aries is the first sign. Aries is a cardinal sign. They are the initiators, like I said. Aries is the number one. You know, this is how it goes. I don't know any other way but to lead. The one is the beginning, so it's kind of a childlike energy, and it's this youthful kind of, let's go for it. Let's try everything, you know, and I'm not stopping until I do try everything. You know, I'm invincible. I can live forever kind of attitude, which is kind of contagious. Confidence is there, you know. Impulsiveness, something completely different than Virgo, right? But Virgo helps to calm that, and Virgo helps to initiate the idea of stability in a lot of ways, in a lot of areas of their life that they don't necessarily feel or hear, and they don't know it until they're around that grounded energy, that they recognize the beauty in it. It wasn't like they were necessarily looking, but when it's there, they're like, yes, this is what's been missing from my internal being, you know. Not that they're not whole as they are, because you know they are. And they do well. They're independent though. They do like their time. They don't want to be confined, you know. When they are in it, they are in it to win it. So it's relationships or whatever it is. They're not giving up, but you know, they may be a little slower in the commitment area. But this is beautiful energy for the two of you. I see great things happening. Look at this. 10 of Pentacles, the best you can get. The coins, the earth, the energy of the Virgo, the money, like Venus and what it's possibly bringing into the connection here. Working together as a family and just the ultimate. Once again, the hard work is paying off. It is the time, everybody. We've gone through a lot. And because of that, you know how that works in life. You've got the ups and downs and ins and outs. When you're down, the only way is up, right? So this is what's happening now. It's fantastic. I would love you to please, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. It's extremely supportive. It's kind of what has to happen as I move forward throughout the years, and I want to do readings and be a part of YouTube, and they will share this video, which is important for, you know, ratings and to be able to get more opportunities that come along with YouTube. But more importantly, I can interact with you. You can comment, you can let me know, and I'm very kind of nosy that way. I like to know what's happening with the subscribers and, you know, my tribe, I guess you could call it. So yeah, please do that. It just takes a moment, and like and do all those wonderful things. I really appreciate it. But yeah, that's a beautiful energy going on there. And oh, by the way, the 10 is always a new cycle. So even if things weren't looking so great, that's past, and we don't want to dwell on that as much as possible. We have to grieve in our own time. I never want to dismiss that, but this is about new. This is about beginning, and that new moon in Libra on the 16th, it's going to last for 6 months, so I hope it had to do with that for you. Apparently it did. Then we go with Pisces and Virgo, polar opposites. You know, that's the one that just always kind of like, it's just this almost resistance, but at the same time, it kind of brings you together, you know, once again, night and day. But do I see this constantly throughout the decades that I've been doing readings and recognition and studying and, you know, my own personal investigations of relationships and how they work, and astrology, of course, being a huge tool that I use. It's wonderful. It works. Now, the water element, once again, with the earth is one of the best. The water of Pisces, the 12th sign, the knowledge, the old soul, the understanding of all the zodiac signs, because all the ones that came before kind of brought the energy into them. The fish, you know, the duality, mutable, which is also what Virgo is. Very, very complementary. The depth of Pisces is very, very known, and a well-known trait, I would say, of sensitivity, of psychic ability, of prophetic understanding, you know, always knowing that when you see them, that you see them as being somewhere else, right? Because they're spiritually in another world almost, you know, and ruled by Neptune. That's the underworld, you know, the parts of us, our subconscious, are the unknown, the secret, the hidden. And that's what Neptune's all about, you know, the kind of a fantasy, but kind of secretive and unknown, hidden aspects of everyone's life. So there's a real attraction there, you know. Pisces needs that earth energy, trust me. You know, they kind of go on their own time frame, they beat to their own drum, they're incredibly creative and talented, and artists need that. They need that ability to just be and to flow, and that's what they're about. Let's just go with the flow. And very, very, very capable, usually wonderful at their own businesses and entrepreneurial aspects. And so let's see what your energies have to say. Well, this is beautiful. It's temperance, and it's the water. It's the water, but this is actually representative of Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. And it's the alchemy that, my gosh, if anybody understands, it's a Piscean. They are like a chameleon. They just can change with the conditions. You know, they're so impressionable, and they just are so giving and so, you know, selfless at times, that they are empathic in the way that they just take on other people's energies and their feelings, and it's exhausting at times. And so they want to keep that temperance. They want to make sure that they're balanced, as in Libra season too. But this is not just, you know, balancing of life, physical circumstances. This is our spirituality and changing water to wine, and, you know, as above, so below, the real depths of alchemy that can take place. And being careful with our bodies now, and making sure that we're resting and drinking enough water, and taking time to relax and retreat during the retrograde. That's innately known for Pisces, and they will definitely help that hardworking Virgo. Not that Pisces aren't hardworking. They need to be reminded too. The two of you can help each other out. The alchemy is necessary there, and the temperance, just something to think about. Then we move on to, well, we already did Aquarius, so we're going on to Capricorn. There you are again, that beautiful synchronistic earth energy, fellow earth sign. Well, Capricorn really gets you, Virgo, and you get Capricorn. And Capricorns are unstoppable. I mean, talk about steadfast. That's the main word that I would attribute to Capricorns. They are a cardinal sign. They are the initiators. They have to be doing something. They are workaholics. Trust me, and you know what that's like. You can relate to that, Virgo. So you both have to find the balance, and I'm sure that you do, because if work means that much to you, and you love each other as much as you do, or the connection is so strong in the friendship and whatever is happening, you understand and you work that together. You make it work, you know? So you both may love working, and that's beautiful. And I think it's what happens a lot of times. But do allow time for time off. And, you know, the Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is our taskmaster. I mean, it's all about structure and discipline and constriction, right? And that's, by the way, Capricorn is the planet of, you know, the chosen benevolent planet when it comes to Jupiter this year, which only happens every 12 years. Jupiter is in the sign of Capricorn. Jupiter creates opportunities and magic and luck and expansion and anything that's you're touching, so be careful. Too many opportunities can be confusing and almost end up with not as much as you want, right? Kind of focusing in on that. You're very capable of that, Capricorn. So together there can be some beautiful simpatico type of energy with creating and expansion in your love and your work, in your money. What does it say energetically? Well, the King of Wands, boy, here we go with fire again. Must be the Aries retrograde that's affecting us all, right? It's in there and it makes us want to just be and do and create. And this is the maturity when it comes to the wands and the king. It doesn't have to be a man, but the masculine energy, the idea and the motivation to accomplish and to do. And the kings are usually well established, have great, work lives and relationships. They've been there, done that, and they want to help now. They want to give to others, and there's that reciprocation that's necessary. And I'm feeling that in this relationship. Power is the key thing here, and the fiery energy and passion that comes with that, because all earth signs can be extremely passionate. Then we move on to Sagittarius. I always have a little bit of a soft spot for Sagittarius. It's somebody that it's a sign that I've always been in relation to. I didn't plan it. It's just what it is. So there's the fire. There's the ambition. There's the optimism. They are ruled by Jupiter. So I mentioned Capricorn has Jupiter in their sign this year, and then it'll come back in another 12 years, but it'll give them the opportunity to really advance themselves. So whatever they do receive or whatever investments they do this year will affect them in the next 12 years. So this is the ruling planet of Sagittarius. This is luck. This is absolute ambition. Higher learning is what Sagittarius is about. Alchemy, balancing your life, and having a strategy, having that wherewithal, that drive and that arrow that points to their desires and then accomplishes it every time. And the travel is there, the adventure is there, the freedom is there, and that's important. And it's very attractive to everybody, but definitely to you too, Virgo. Mutable sign, so there you go. The two of you can adapt and change and grow and just work well together. And the 10 of Cups, it's just... There's that Jupiter, boy. There's that Venus working together right now. You've got the ultimate family, the ultimate in filling your cups and happiness and emotionally, and not just, on a physical level. There's great emotion here. There's great love. And I would say, once again, going back to my other statement, I feel like a lot of Sagittarius really like their freedom, but they do generally start out as being good friends. So if it's not a love connection that I'm speaking about with you, Virgo and Sagittarius, this is a lifetime friendship. And it's a great friendship. And they care a lot about their friends. And they have a lot of friends. And they're social. And they have interest in foreign countries and they love everybody and everything. They are not biased or anything. They don't have that in their makeup. They're straightforward and authentic. And you love that because that's what you are. 10 of Cups. Scorpio and Virgo. Very, very, very wonderful. Water and earth. Now, Scorpio is a fixed sign. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Once again, the transformation, very prevalent this year, but deep, the deepest kind, the subconscious, like I said, the unearthing of, things that have oppressed us in our subconscious, and just freeing ourselves and reinventing ourselves and rising above the challenges and the differences in the life and death circumstances that happen in all of our lives. That's what something you can always equate to a Scorpio, and the mystery and the depths of their emotion, their water, right? The intensity is pretty much unmatched. They're very, very true and loyal, and they care about that. They want authenticity. That's what they get with Virgo. Passion, yeah, they have to have that physical intimacy. It's a way that they get to know people because they understand people, in a, I was going to say, meeting of the minds type of way. They know what you're thinking before you do sometimes. They are very, very psychic, very capable of learning and understanding different things like the occult and, philosophical things comes to mind. But very, very capable of making money and being shrewd about that, and very possessive at times in their relationships and things that they love. They keep it close in, they don't need to be going everywhere, meeting everybody. There can be social, Scorpios, but this is very compatible with Virgos because Virgos are more, you know, subdued a lot of times. And they like social lives, but they prefer to be at home, for kind of just in love and keeping close to the loves of their life, and or working really hard and staying behind the scenes. The energy coming for the two of you, okay, kind of makes perfect sense. The Four of Pentacles. And this is kind of keeping the money kind of close by, not being stingy, but just kind of being really sensible, especially this year, because we don't know one day from the next. Not that we ever really had, but this specifically this year, institutions and things are kind of really unpredictable. So being sensible. Four is about balance and keeping that balance and not going crazy on any, you know, in any way, and protecting the money that you two have maybe earned together, protecting your resources in general, but your life, your stability is coming very clear as a message to you, and just really protecting your love is what I'm feeling. Not wanting to necessarily share that, especially with Scorpio. But it's good. You know, four is balance. I like that, and the stability there, which will happen if you protect things. You know, you got to be smart, thinking ahead. And then we have Virgo and Libra. And like I said, I have such amazing Virgo friends. I have such admiration for them. I've learned so much from Virgos, and I hope that I've been able to help them as well. Libras want balance. They want justice. They want peace. They want to care, and they're the mind, you know, the air. They want to think and work through difficulties, and relationships are key to them. And they're going to do whatever they can to make that relationship work. They will put another person ahead of them in order to better understand and see their side of a situation. Indecision can be a part of it, but not because they won't reach a decision. They see everything. They see both sides. They understand it, and they could see where, yeah. People say it's vacillating and it's weak. It's not. It's a lot in the mind going on. You know, they don't just take things lightly that way. Certainly not in the relationships. So this is a really beautiful energy, and we're in Libra season, and it is about balance. And once again, Libra is ruled by Venus, love and money and power and beauty and art and culture. And with Venus in your sign right now, I think there's a lot of beautiful energies going on with Libra and Virgos. What does it say? The Queen of Pentacles, excuse me. Just the beautiful stability and abundance that's available, you know. And this is definitely about our practical things, our money, our stability. There you go, you know. You seem to be bringing that out, Virgo, with your connections. If it isn't fire, it's about stability and, you know, wealth, and really growing this together in a partnership, and the maternal aspect that just wants to once again give and be receptive, and to have open arms, and to you know, the giving and receiving, the balancing of our giving. So it's absolutely beautiful. I love all the there's no negative connotations to your connections, and I'm happy to say that, and I'm really happy to read this and be that messenger for you. So let's move on to the two beautiful oracle divinations I have, which basically are just all about giving you love and encouragement, and reminding you of the things you probably already know and most likely do. We're all connected, we're all one, but putting it in words that kind of helps, you know, remind you, or just, you know, give you some insight, hopefully clarity on circumstances. So these are the beautiful Wisdom of the Oracle by Call Up Bear and Read. I just received them. I absolutely love them. And I've seen many other readers that have them, and I said, I want those. And my beautiful sons indulged me. So the specific energy for all Virgos and all of their beautiful connections, and also especially the highlighted connection with Sagittarius. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Aquarius. Mercury, I'll blame it on Mercury. It's true. Thinker. Well, I'm certainly aware of that ability that you have, you beautiful Virgos, you know, just constantly wanting to learn and grow and to share that knowledge with others. And it's number 44, and that's an 8. And there you go. There's the abundance. There's the absolute manifestation ability we all have. And it's fantastic. You've got stars, and you're just on this beautiful, I love the illustration, but thinker. It kind of speaks for itself. But let me read to you what it says specifically. I love 44. That's a magical, angelic number. So you are being watched and cared for. Always. Just a reminder of that. Essential meaning, strategy, being analytical and logical. Go figure. Between you and Aquarius, it's like, that's exactly what it means. That's who you are. I love that. I got goosebumps because that's what's happening with the readings. And I appreciate Spirit going there with me. You know, I really do. It just lights me up. The oracle message, the ability to reason and strategize is in focus now. Take things at a face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct. For in this moment, there is no deeper meaning than that what is obvious. That's kind of good to know, right? What you see is what you're getting. With Scorpio and Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and then with the season approaching us, it's just that. It's revealing the truth, and there you go. So things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. And I love that because what it says to me is that with all the confusion and confliction going on in news and, you know, information from the beginning of this year to this moment, it's been a little challenging at times, but it never is when you just sit and realize this is what I'm feeling, this is what works for me. And you got to believe in what you believe, right? I mean, that's essential. And then just realizing that, yeah, right now, pretty much what you're seeing is exactly where it's at. Whatever that may be and how that resonates with you. And last but not least, the beautiful Super Attractor Manifestation card. And this is about that ability to create by feeling the life we need and the people we need and the things that we need, feeling them into our physical existence, right? Third dimension. And feeling good in the process, which is essential when it comes to manifesting. The things you want, that is. And being keen and aware of that. You know, what we're thinking is essential as well. And your beautiful message is, wow, this is about creation. This is about ideas and formulating them and making them happen and writing those intentions for new ideas and possibilities, even if it can't go forward this minute. With that new moon again, I am patient knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. This is a repeated card because there's the red for passion. That is our root chakra. That is our stability, our foundation, our permanence, right? What we strive for. And it's so beautiful. And the labor we do and that we go through, which is the hard part at times, right? Not always, but it's not always easy either. When we want to accomplish something, it can be hard. And then once it's there, it's like it was worth every second, right? Certainly when you're having a baby, and there might be a baby in the picture too. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. This doesn't come up for no reason. So maybe a lot of you are expecting or thinking about children, wanting children, and there's your answer as well. So thank you so much for taking the time and being a part of my channel. I love it. I appreciate you all. And yeah, just enjoy and revel in your connections of all kinds. Love is the most powerful energy. It always has been and always will be. And it's worth every moment. So until next time, thank you. Bye for now.